We know that the main industry that brings most money to Jamaica right now is tourism. The pandemic has given a hard time, but still it's around 30% of Jamaica's GDP. There are discussions if the country should focus more on the other industries like agriculture, bauxite mining, logistics and so on. But there is a question: can the film industry make some money for Jamaica? Or maybe it's already doing so. Recently, Paramount Pictures spent millions of dollars in Jamaica while filming Bob Marley One Love. The total budget for this film was $70 million, but I've heard they spent around 12 million or so in Jamaica. This is just an example of what it means financially for Jamaica when a Hollywood team comes and brings the budgets to make a movie in Jamaica. It is especially important if it's a movie about Jamaica or Jamaicans, because of course it's not just the budgets spent here that counts. It's the influence that these Hollywood films have internationally, sparkling yet another wave of interest for Jamaica. This in turn gives an extra boost to the Jamaican tourism industry. How many people were reminded that they should plan their next trip to Jamaica because of Bob Marley One Love? The influence of films is just as powerful as the influence of music. In fact, it can be even more powerful if the story is engaging and appeals to a much wider audience, regardless of their tastes or interests. The extent of this influence is very difficult to measure as it stretches over a very long period of time. A very good example is my case. I was born in the Soviet Union in 1980 and grew up knowing absolutely nothing about Jamaica. When I was 16, I went to study in England, and my new friends invited me to watch a film they rented. It happened to be Cool Runnings. And that's how I got introduced to Jamaica. So it was an American film where most actors were not even Jamaicans, but the first impression I had was this extremely positive image of Jamaican people portrayed in that film. 18 years later, I relocated to Jamaica and I've been living here since then. It's been 10 years now. Of course, there were multiple factors that went into my decision to move to Jamaica, but it all began with that American film. Now, what about the local film industry? Despite Jamaica being a relatively small country and not the richest one, we don't have any large film studios here, yet the country has still managed to produce notable films. It began in 1972 when the very first Jamaican film was released, The Harder They Come, directed by Perry Hansel and starring Jimmy Cliff. The film was a sensation in Jamaica due to its naturalistic portrayal of Jamaicans and its use of Jamaican language. But on top of that, this was the film that brought reggae to an international audience for the first time, with the film soundtrack becoming a huge success. So that one film produced over 50 years ago, it's still having an influence on Jamaica and the international perception of Jamaica today. There have been many more Jamaican films made afterwards, some considered iconic in Jamaica. But the thing is, for international recognition, wide world distribution is required, and this is where the main problem lies. High-quality films with a large market can indeed make a lot of money, millions of dollars. But such films also cost a lot of money to make. They require not just talent and creative approach, they need infrastructure, equipment, and all sorts of links and connections. What most people outside of the industry are often not aware of is that marketing and distribution of a film can cost just as much as its production. So the lack of funding is and has always been a problem in the film industry, especially in smaller countries like Jamaica. And this is where Jamaica is currently making huge progress. You see, it's the first time in the history of Jamaica when the government decided to allocate funds directly to the Jamaican film industry. The first announcement was made last year. Here's a short clip where the then film commissioner talks about the new fund.
The inaugural Jamaica Screen Fund is going to be a game changer for the film industry here in Jamaica. It is essentially an opportunity for public finance to be able to support and stimulate the local economy for the local film industry through access to financing. So that's films, TV series, including animation, to be able to create an opportunity for them to get financing for their projects, for their local projects.
This program has already been launched. It's called the Jamaica Screen Development Initiative, or JSDI for short, and it has a fund of 1 billion Jamaican dollars. The program is managed by JAMPRO, and this is their web page where Jamaicans can submit their applications to get funding for their film projects. It is happening right now. The deadline is on the 28th of April. The eligibility criteria are pretty strict, but there are a lot of talented Jamaicans, and I just hope they take full advantage of this opportunity. I've recently moved to Kingston after 9 years in Montego Bay, and the first thing I did was to become a member of JAFTA, which is the Jamaica Film and Television Association. I joined to see if I could find a team to work on documentaries to take this YouTube channel to the next level. But I found myself in the middle of these incredible changes in our film industry. So let me give you a glimpse at JAFTA monthly meetings to share what the Jamaican film community thinks about the recent fund.
So JAFTA is a not-for-profit organization, and we focus on building the audiovisual industry. We do things like capacity building, networking, working on initiatives, skills training, and also we work very closely with the government in order to build out ideas and build out initiatives that are beneficial for the industry. And it's just about growth of the industry and seeing this become a successful place where you can come and film and make money from it. It's difficult to measure the Jamaican film industry in terms of numbers. I can tell you the JAFTA membership is maybe approximately 150 to 200 people, and that's maybe a quarter of the people that are actually working on the ground in the film industry. Remember, film is an interesting industry where it encompasses people from most walks of life. So you have your accountants, you have your caterers. So it's not only the camera people and the audio people, but it's a lot of skills that come in one. So it's a little bit hard to measure, but it's definitely a growing one, and definitely one that more and more people are coming into.
So we want to welcome you to our first official JAFTA meeting of 2024. It's actually the first. People snapping. You know, we're getting a sneak peek into the Bob Marley One Love movie with the trailblazing casting director Kareem Blake-Chin and the actor Courtney Edwards.
The first JAFTA meeting you see here also featured an interview with the casting director for Bob Marley One Love and one of the actors.
My name is Courtney R. Edwards. I play teen Bunny Livingston in the Bob Marley movie. It's like a dream come true, you know. I've experienced a life of a whaler, and like there are certain things money can't buy. Money can't buy the feeling of success. It has to be earned, you know, and I really earned that, and it's phenomenal. Like, it's very, very euphoric, and the rest is history. The fight is real because, you know, in our profession it's very challenging. It's persistence that does the work, persistence. You see failure, how do you know if it's a bad thing? You know, it could be setting you up for something greater. You know, it probably if you didn't get that role, you should fail in order for you to get something that is for you. Do what you have to do because you still have to make money on the side to fund your dream and your passion. Take your favorite scene from a movie and then do your take from it. That's what I did. You know, I'm still doing that to this day. You know, and yeah, that's my 2 cents.
And for the moment we have all been waiting for, Mrs. Shalette Cox, JAMPRO President, will give us an overview of what is the Jamaica Screen Development Initiative.
A very exciting time in Jamaica's film industry. And it is beyond exciting at this moment as we launch the Jamaica Screen Development Initiative. In terms of the program details, we are focused primarily on growing local content.
And I see our film commissioner here. And so on the height of all of this happening, and the announcements, and us wanting to create more of our own stories and our content so we're represented in a way, I'm gonna invite our film commissioner to come up. Woo! This is our field commissioner, our current field commissioner, Jacqueline Jackson. She's been in office for
almost 6 months.
6 months.
I can tell you it's been a pleasure and a joy to be in this position. I walked in and I was like, wait, it's film fun? That was at the top of the list, and they're like, all right, we're going to bring in a consultant, and there's a number of things to happen. So I had a lot of documents to read. Nordicity had done in 2016 an overview of what the Film Fund, 2016, 2017, 2018, of what the Film Fund could look like in Jamaica, right? Doing different assessments of what's happening in the Caribbean and the US just as a prototype, right? But that needed to be Jamaicanized, and then we needed to have stakeholder comments and suggestions, and of course input. So I got into office and I said, all right, we have work to do.
Groundbreaking, absolutely groundbreaking situation. How did that happen?
Listen, it's teamwork, and it's on the ground and the shoulders and the feet and the hands of so many persons before me. Natalie Thompson, Faye Ellington. It started with the first film commissioner, 1984. We're talking about Sally Portius. This industry has lobbied the government for years, before I was born. So I am so, I don't know, I have goosebumps now, because I'm really standing on the shoulders of a lot of persons who've done a lot of work. And I'm happy for my people, and I'm happy for my industry, and anything that I can do and give, I will do. And this $1 billion is not a small feat. It's not. Some people think it's just a little drop in the bucket because it's 6-point-something million US, but it's an opportunity for our creatives to produce high quality content about Jamaicans, for Jamaicans, that is viable worldwide.
Oh, this new fund is a game changer. It's a game changer because, as I don't know if you caught when Justine said that we've never had a fund this big before. Yeah, it's true. There's so many people in Jamaica with great stories. There's so much talent. Cinematographers, acting, writing, etc. And all they need is just a chance, just a piece of that money, and this fund represents that possibility. Right? So yeah, man, I'm ecstatic for it.
Filmmaker.
Yes.
So how do you feel about? Are you going to apply?
I definitely want to apply. I have projects that I want to apply with. So, in fact, not only am I going to apply, I'm encouraging my team members, my friends to apply who are also filmmakers. So, definitely.
I have mixed emotions. I'm excited, I'm anxious, I'm overjoyed, because it's an amazing thing to happen. It's an amazing time to be a part of our industry, a local industry. And it's opened so many doors for so many of us who have kind of just been waiting and preparing and doing the work, hoping that an opportunity, this particular opportunity would come to fruition. And that it has, I can't.
Fingers crossed.
No, I mean, it has come to fruition. Whether or not my application goes through is besides the point. The fact is there are so many creatives here who have been doing the work already, who have been laying the foundation, and no matter whose project gets funded, it's still an amazing thing. It's still an amazing thing because we as an industry and our stories just deserve to be told, and this is one opportunity that's just gonna get our voices on the international market in ways that we have not yet gotten there. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited about the fund.
Are you also scared?
I'm terrified.
That's my feeling.
It's one of those things where you're on the cusp of something amazing and brilliant. So it excites you, it terrifies you, all at the same time. But at the end of the day, it's a wonderful feeling. It's a superb feeling. So yeah, and I'm wishing my fellow industry people all the best, and I can't wait to see the amazing films and other projects, live action, animation, any screen work that's going to be supported through the fund. So yeah.
We are very, very, very excited for the Jamaica Screen Development Initiative. It's been coming a long time. We have done things like our Propeller Initiative, which is a yearly script-to-screen initiative where we've partnered with Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Industry in order to give funding to filmmakers. And we train them and we develop them, and we've had over 16 films come out of that. And it's initiatives like that have created this confidence by the government to give us this funding right now, which we are very excited for. And I can tell you JAFTA is putting our first foot forward in order to ensure that this money is spent wisely and support the government in any way possible.
We were just talking about the fact that we've been working on this for 25 years. And Natalie Thompson over there deserves all the flowers, because she has been in every single room. We've been there for 25 years. So we've been quarreling and agitating, and the fund is not perfect, but it is way more than we have ever had before, right? And I want all of you to please, when you're pitching to this fund, pitch like you're pitching to BFI. Pitch like you're pitching to some international organization. It's not that you're pitching to Jamaica and therefore it can just simple. Right? You're pitching for international recognition for your projects. And once the fund gives you a stamp of approval, then you have something literally to take to the bank. Okay? So I want you to really pitch high, dig deep, because we have to show the government that we can give a return on taxpayers' money. This is my money and your money. And if it was given to another industry, you'd want to know that it was a return on your investment that you have paid. This is our money. Right? It's not free money. We have worked hard to pay for what we're now going to be giving. So it has to make a return.
So my father, Perry Hensel, 1972, so 52 years ago, he released The Harder They Come. But to get to release it, it was years and years. He borrowed money from friends and family. There was no institutional person who would lend him money. There was no government institution that would lend him money. He ran out of money multiple times making that film. It basically bankrupted him and our family. Where we're standing right now, 10A West Kings House Road, it had to be mortgaged a second time. So it was a passion project, but thank God he did it, and it's Jamaica's first feature film, and it's a legacy that we all have to live up to. Not just me as his daughter, but I think all of us as a film family in Jamaica, that you don't let obstacle and adversity stand in your way, that you keep going, and you also do not let authenticity suffer. You always go for authenticity, you know. When Harder They Come was released with subtitles, there was no Narcos. There was no thing that was globally accepted being watched with subtitles. There were small art house films from South America and Europe that were watched in tiny theaters with subtitles. Now subtitles are universally accepted everywhere. It's no longer a deterrent. And we're very fortunate to live at a time that we're creating that Jamaican English is no longer a hurdle. You know, we have a saying, nothing before the time, and basically I do think that previous administrations have wanted to support the creative industries, but there just hasn't been the fiscal space to do it. Fortunately, there is now the fiscal space, and we have lobbied hard, and 3 different ministers from 3 different ministries came together. Minister Grange from Culture, Minister Hill from Investment, and Minister Clark from Finance. And they came together and they agreed that this was something worth supporting. So there was the means, they understood the mission, and here we are. It's fabulous. The reason they're doing this is to have a huge impact. They understand that representation is so important for building your sense of identity as a people. We need to increase the positivity and our sense of self-worth. And doing that through film is one of the most important ways it can happen. So I think that they are very clear on the mission, and I think our film community is also very clear about the responsibility that they now have. We've been advocating for the funding, now we've got the funding, we need to turn up with the projects. If you're a Jamaican creative here or overseas, I would urge you to apply to JSDI. The tagline for it is projecting the big picture, and we want all different kinds of stories from all different kinds of points of view that are Jamaican based. So it does need to be a Jamaican based project, in other words, a Jamaican creative and or based on a Jamaican story set in Jamaica. We have lots of stories, what we don't have are scripts. It's impossible to make a film from an idea or even a story. We need the story to become a script. So get us those scripts.
Oi, miss, come and help me prepare the food. Make yourself useful. Is that a hotel?
Have you got an apron that I can use?
Apron?
Auntie, when you first met my mum, what was she like?
She looked just like you do now. Same face, same smile. Hello. Junior, you blasted chumby. You want me a fast attack? You want 2 funerals instead of 1?
Just cool now, auntie. Avita mo come for. Me need a help with something. Come in, man, come.
Junior, pull up your pants.
Hi, such a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you, Irene. I watch you all the time, so I know everything about
That's so sweet of you. That's so sweet. All right, so how did that happen finally?
What?
It's
been years. It's been years. We have sat on so many boards that have pushed, trying to get funding, trying to get it. And I mean, we have to continue because this can't be the end. There has to be more and more and more. The Jamaican government has to believe in us. Finally, they are taking baby steps, but we are happy.
So what was the final drop that made them decide that, yes, we're going to take this money out of the budget and allocate it here?
I think what has happened is that they came to visit us on the Marley set, and they knew at that stage that the big movies were coming to Jamaica. Marley, Black Cake, Bond, Millie Black, that hasn't opened yet, Champion, which is now on Netflix. They knew those movies were coming, and they knew they had to give something back to keep them coming, because we said it. And then they started, okay, maybe we should do something, and that's how I think it started. The thing is that let us use the fund first, but let us use it right. Let us not get a lot of rejections because it's not properly presented. Make sure that your pitch is properly presented. Make sure that you think out your story. Make sure that you study how is the right way to structure a story. How is the right way to put together a Bible, a script, your characters, everything. Not everything that comes into your head is a good story. Do it the right way. Films are told in a certain way, and you have to conform to that. So do it right. Let us use this money right. Let us not give all this money to our overseas friends, because they will come in well. They will come in ready. And there are a lot of people waiting to shoot here. But let us try to get our things right and get out there and tell our stories properly. I'm going to apply too, so.
You were working with the Bob Marley movie recently.
Yes. It was very personal for us because, we all know Bob, and we all know what we want Bob to look like. And so it was interesting because I met Kingsley the year before, when he first set foot in the Caribbean. I was the first person to meet him and talk to him and say, come, you have to get this right, because you're not Jamaican, and all of us are making up our faces and going, I said to him, you are a professional actor, just get the accent right. And it had to be a professional actor. It couldn't be just somebody off the road coming to pay Bob. And he did a wonderful job when you see him.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're most
Thank
welcome.
you for supporting everyone here.
Oh,
Thank you.
no,
Thank you.
no problem.
The Black River Film Festival is set to take place in Jamaica at the end of June this year. If you're interested in learning more about Jamaican films and experiencing everything firsthand, here's the Instagram post you will find interesting. My dear subscribers, you've probably noticed by now that most of my videos to date are not exactly YouTube vlogs. Okay, this one is sort of a vlog, but most are not. Instead, they're scripted documentary style videos with music, interviews, structured storyline, often including extensive research. So, you see where this is going, right? I'm not sure if I'm personally going to apply for the fund, and as a Jamaican resident, theoretically I can, but the timing is tricky, so we'll see. But in any case, I'm extremely excited for the Jamaican film community, and I just wanted to share these historic changes in the film industry here on my channel. I know that many people might not realize the huge significance of this step for Jamaica as a country, assuming maybe that films are just mere entertainment, but guys, we think just a few steps ahead. The impact that films have on our society, both locally and internationally, cannot be underestimated. So the decision of the government to support the film industry is indeed a game changer for Jamaica. And I want to add one more point that I believe is important. The reason I make YouTube videos and my main focus is documentaries is that these videos require a much lower budget to make, while still, can look good and delivering value. Of course, it could be great to make a full feature film based on the true story like the Morant Bay Rebellion, but the budget for such a film would be like $100 million US, which we don't have, and an attempt to squeeze a feature film of such genre into a small budget, it would just look terrible. So I just wanted to make sure we're all realistic and not expecting Jamaica to suddenly produce a lot of Hollywood-style blockbusters. But there are topics and genres that can live with a much smaller budget and at the same time be just as captivating and interesting because of the story itself. I'm sure Jamaican filmmakers know what these topics are, and I cannot wait to see the films they produce. But the question is, for the audience, what kind of topics about Jamaica do you want to see turned into movies? It can be documentaries or feature films. Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video interesting, please don't forget to give it a like. And of course, as always, special thanks to our patrons for their continued support. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.